The autism awareness film, The Donkey, was inspired by many things. For one thing, it was inspired by well, the first thing is that I've got autism, so it was inspired by most of my life in the backstory department and growing up. It's also based on many autistic people that I've known who've gone through some difficult times, some stories that I've read about autistic people, and also other films like Silent Child being one of them, which was a big inspiration of mine because that was about a little girl who was deaf and she felt like she didn't fit in, but then obviously she found a friend and she found her way in life. And this film is kind of like that. We're seeing a story about a young autistic man who's in his early 20s, and he's trying to just survive in this very confusing world. I mean, he's had a lot of trauma in his life, and he's just trying to go out in the world and trying to fit in and just trying to go after what he wants to do. So yeah, it's a story about trying to fit in, and there's tons of messages in this film as well. It's not just about like fitting in, it's also about the fact that we shouldn't just keep putting each other in groups and say, that's them, that's them, that's them. Those are the black people, those are the white people, those are the disabled people, those are the autism people, those are the Down syndrome people, those are the anything like that. And it's just saying that autism people just want respect. It's not trying to say that we're trying to make you feel sorry for us or anything like that. It's just trying to say that no matter what age you are, autism exists, it's there forever. We're not trying to be weird or anything like that. We just want to fit in and have a bit of respect, but people just can't, for some reason, seem to want to have anyone who's autistic around, or they don't seem to trust them. So it's not it's just not like edible for that to happen. We're trying to make the message to say that this is who we are, and you have to respect that. Making a drama wasn't really that difficult because obviously it's quite an emotional film, and all I had to do was kind of just make a very emotional film. But it was kind of like just looking back at the emotional qualities of my life and kind of putting all that onto paper, because I wrote the script last summer, late August, just when I finished uni in July, and I was like, right, now I'm going to start getting out there and start making a festival film to put out there. And an autism awareness film is just perfect to put out because it's raising awareness, it's showing that autistic people are not just children who have it. It doesn't matter what age you are, if you've got it, you've got it. And it's also about like people who are trying to cope with their family members who have autism. There's loads of stuff like that. So the drama side of it was very easy to make, but there are still like comedy elements to it because I can't really divorce myself away from the comedy side. I have to still keep like putting comedy elements in the film. Working with the cast was great. I mean, first of all, Cara Benstead is my executive producer, and she plays Crystal in the film. She was the first person to come in to discuss this, and we got on, and she understood a lot about what autism is and what it does because she has an autistic son herself. And so this story was kind of touched her because she said it does kind of relate to everything that's going on in society right now with autism, and it was great to have her on board to help me out with the film. And she helped me with the script, of course, because we went through 8 drafts, and when we found the perfect one, we was very happy with it. Working with Anna was a joy, an absolute joy, because she not only is she an incredible actress to work with, like she knows her stuff, like she knows like what this film was, and the fact that it made her cry was also another thing. But it was great to have her on board because she used to work with autistic children, and so it's great to have, again, someone who understands what the autism quality and the message is all about. And she just nailed that role so well. Like, you know, she just brought such a great vibe to the character, and it also just, she adds such a great tone to the movie as well. And yeah, I'm just so honoured that I got to work with her because she's done some incredible things, and I'm very happy that I got to put her in this film. Sammy's one of my best mates, and you know, I love working with Sammy. It's no brainer I had to put him in because I trust him with my life, and you know, he got what this was. You know, he didn't just say, "Oh yeah, I'll do it for you." You know, I'm happy to help. He was very happy to be part of it, and I'm glad he did because, you know, to be honest, it wouldn't have made sense if he wasn't in this film. You know, he had to be in this film, and it's because of my vision and the style that I was going for that he had to be in it. And I'm so glad he was because he just was great to work with. The locations we went to were amazing. He did a fantastic job with this movie. Like, you know, his performance and the character and just the scenes, it just looks so beautiful, and I love it. Working with Bo is always a pleasure because I love that guy. You know, he's very funny, and you know, he does the job. You know, no matter what role I give him, he just does the job. You know, there's no complaints. He comes up, he does it, and he's just such a great guy to work with. You know, he's a lot of fun. We have a laugh on set, and he's just always a joy. And yeah, and he brought such great comedy elements to the film, and he played another sort of great bad guy to the role. So yeah, he was fantastic to be part of the film, and I'm glad that he was. I'm really happy he did it. Yeah, working with Lucy as always is great. I mean, she kind of saved the film in a way a little bit because we needed a police person or man, woman, whatever, to be in this film, and I did have someone already who said he was ready to do it, but then for some reason he decided to just walk out of the project. Just said, no, I'm not doing it. So Lucy was kind of like my little lifesaver, and she came along and was like, yeah, I'm happy to help. And you know, I'm really glad that she did because the scene that she's involved in, it's one of the most intense scenes in the entire film, and it just looks so intense and incredible. And yeah, Lucy has always done an amazing job, so you know, I'm really happy that it worked out in the scene, so I'm very happy. The two girls, Emma and Victoria, you know, they play the bullies of the film, and they just nailed those roles. They were really on the ball with these roles, and you know, I was looking for two very vicious looking women to play the bullies, and yeah, I mean, Emma and Victoria, like, I couldn't have chosen two better girls for the role because I mean, Emma especially was proper intimidating. Like, when she done that role and she stood over me and she slapped my hat off as ad lib, and she grabbed the book and ripped the paper and chucked so much paper balls on my head. It was really funny, but it was a great shoot, and they just did such an incredible job. I mean, both girls were just fantastic, and it looks really good. Like, you know, the intensity of that scene, and it looks so real as well. Like, it doesn't look false. It just looks so real, and I was very happy with how it turned out. So yeah, it's a great scene. The backbone of this film was Megan Grover, 100%. She was my cinematographer and my lighting, but she was just the backbone of the entire film. I mean, if it wasn't for her, the film would not look as good as it does. The ideas that she came up with shots, I mean, it was so weird. It was like she was literally wired into my brain. I'm surprised she didn't, you know, pass out, to be honest, seeing what's in there. But no, she honestly was just like so incredible to work with. We bonded so well over this, and you know, we had a really good time working together. It was always a laugh on set. She's just always on the ball, and you know, it's amazing that she's like 21 years old, 22, 21, and she you know, it's like she's been making films for 50 years, you know, for someone who's in her 20s. It's like she's been making films for so long, because she knows exactly how to shoot it, how the lighting should look, everything. And, you know, I cannot wait to work with her again on future projects, because she is just incredible to work with, and she's just always on the ball, you know. So, yeah, great cinematographer right there. The message I want to get out for this film is to say that, you know, I want people to look at this and understand that autism does exist. This is who we are. And I want them to know that, you know, we just demand respect, and, you know, that we're not trying to, you know, we're not trying to interfere or cause any trouble. We just want to fit in, you know, and I'm hoping that people would look at this and understand that, and that just because we don't, you know, look normal or whatever people think about us, we're still human beings. We still demand respect like everybody else does. And also, not just that as well, there are families who have family members who are autistic who can't cope, and they just want help as well. There's tons of messages about just fitting in and being part of society and trying to survive in this confusing world, that I'm hoping people will look at this and say that this has got strong, powerful messages, because I really hope people do look at that and see that. And if they do, then they've been watching the film. And if they haven't, then they've been daydreaming the entire time, because this film has tons of messages that people really do need to look at. So I'm hoping the message will come out loud and clear for them.